What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? Back at it again. You know what time it is. Let's get it. Let's go. Today we're talking about ammonia burns. Ick. Two different things. Ammonia can happen with just about anybody. Any of your aquatic keepers. Anybody can have them. Any of your YouTubers, your big YouTubers, anybody can have an ammonia spike. So don't feel down. Don't feel like you're about to quit. You're ready to give up on fish, because that's just something that happens. Ammonia usually happens in multiple ways. One way is you're not cleaning your tank, you're not cleaning your gravel that good, so food starts to build up and back up. You're not cleaning your filters, regardless if it's a sponge filter or your overhang filter or any other filter that you're using or you made. Another thing is you could have some bad water that's in your state, in your city, and ammonia could be like very high. And that also, from you doing a water change, can also spike your ammonia high and throw your tank off. Another thing you'll kind of notice with your ammonia is your pH seems to get very low. Very, very low. Kind of oddly very low. That's why I actually tell a lot of people the number one thing you should do is go and get you an ammonia tester, pH tester, your nitrate, everything you need to get to test your water. And after every water change, I usually do a water change before my water change. I usually do a test before my water change and after my water change. I want to know what was it before and what is it now. Did it get better? Did it improve? Did it get worse? These are the things that I need to be looking at and paying attention to. Also, you can be paying attention to ammonia burns, which everybody's talking about now, high ammonia burns. The skin looks almost like it's peeling. It looks almost like if you ever put glue in your hand or got glue in your hand and you peel it off, the skin on your fish look like it's peeling. It usually is white. Your fish usually breathing hard, breathing very hard. Sometimes maybe go and lay at the bottom. Not all fish, because some Oscars actually do that. That's just something they do. But what most you'll notice with ammonia is that they look like they're peeling, like something's peeling off of your fish. So those are the signs that you need to kind of pay attention to. That's your ammonia spike. The number one thing that I can recommend for you to do is to quickly do a water change. Quickly do a nice percent of water change, maybe about 50%. Some people even do 75. Do not drain the water off, depending on the size of your tank. I usually do about like 50%. 50% I usually do. To make sure nothing goes on, or is it the water that I'm using, or is it just something that I didn't do, or the tank wasn't clean, or anything in that matter. So, but I also use Prime. Prime is another one that kind of eliminates your ammonia spikes, your nitrate spikes, and things like that. Because I'm in DC, our water is not that good. Our water is kind of bad, so I use that, and it kind of eliminates and takes everything out that's bad. In seconds, you can just tell the fish they just come back. So I usually use Prime. It helps me. Like I said, different states, different cities, water's different. Water's different. So that's what I usually use. I usually also clean out my filter. If I notice ammonia burns and ammonia spike, I quickly wind up cleaning out my filters also. And after that water change, before that water change, I hit the filter first, cut everything off, keep the heat on, light on. And also sometimes, the best thing to do is to turn the light off. When you're trying to get your fish back intact and trying to get them back and healthy again, is to keep that light off. Don't be worried about what you're seeing, because that light can also cause a lot of stress. So don't keep the light on them if they have that ammonia burn and you kind of getting them back and it kind of gradually getting back to themselves. Keep that light off until you know that your fish is back up moving, swimming around. If you can keep that light off for maybe about a week or so, that'll be awesome. So that's kind of certain things that I usually do with my as far as ammonia spike. You have some things out here that you can purchase at fish stores or pet stores that helps with the ammonia. I kind of try to just do natural things, but you can go out and buy them. I'm not sure. It's so many things out there that's made for that ammonia, for ammonia spikes, that you can go and purchase. Just the number one thing you want to do is look at the reviews on whatever you're about to purchase, because you're about to actually put this inside of your fish. Your fish tank will be going inside of your fish, basically. So you want to make sure that the reviews on is good. And like I said, get things that's for the ammonia spike, not ick, because you'll be treating a fish for something they don't need to be treated for, and they will die in matters of minutes. You can walk out the door and come back in, and they most likely be dead because you're treating them for something that they don't need to be treated for. And like I said, it's different ways, it's different things out here to treat for ammonia. And how to get things down. And the one thing is trying to raise that pH up. You got to get that pH to a certain, depending on what type of fish you're keeping. So, ick. Ick is something, man, that can be transmitted to just about any fish. Any fish that you can think of can get ick. So the number one thing that you really want to do is gotta quarantine your fish when you first get them. I know you want to put them in that tank. I know you want to go ahead and hurry up and breed them and do the best thing, upload some pictures and upload these videos. You want to quarantine that fish to get them acclimated to the water that you will be using, for one. Two, to show any signs that, you know, any sickness, anything that could be transmitted, or anything that you have to worry about as far as bloat or anything. These are the type of things that you'll be looking for. So you need to kind of quarantine that fish, you know, because you got to remember, when you first put that fish into that new environment, it's going to kind of act stressed anyway. So you're not going to know if it's anything dealing with sickness, or is it just stress because it's new to an environment, new fish. What's going on. But let's say after maybe a week or so, this fish has now got ick spots. It's all over it. The two things, ammonia burn and ick, like I said in the first part of the video, ammonia burn look like the skin is peeling off the fish. Ick looks almost like polka dots. It's in a type of pattern. It looks almost like a pattern. These small little, look like cotton balls almost. Not on the eyes. Ammonia burn can also go on the eyes. Will look like it's like some stuff just kind of flowing off the eye. That's not ick. Okay, that's not ick. Ick is just dots all over the fish. I mean, everywhere from the dorsal fin to the tail. That ick is just all over the fish itself. So that is with, you know, how ick looks. How to kind of get ick under control. I mean, you have some home remedies that some people say works for them. We have some things that you can purchase. What I would not purchase when dealing with ick, I would not purchase anything that has the dye. It's like blue dye, or sometimes it even looks purple. I wouldn't use that in my tanks. And the reason I say that, or like, unless it's like a quarantine tank, I would use probably something like that, because the quarantine tank, I mean, it's going to dye the glue on the side of your tanks. It's going to dye the glue. It might even dye the tint of the tank. I'm not sure, but I do know it will dye the gluing parts of your tank. It will dye that blue, and that color will always be there. You can scrub, you can dub, you can do whatever you want. That color will always be there. So I mean, you got home remedies, man, that you can kind of look up on YouTube maybe. You got some home remedies that, I mean, just about anything. As far as when we used to deal with things in my pet store that I used to work at, we used to actually, if we had over the back filters running, we would usually shut those off. We usually hurry up and shut those off, and what we would actually start using is the sponge filters. The sponge filters will kind of come in effect, because we don't want any charcoal. We don't want any charcoal in that water. We just want a sponge. We just want it running 24/7. And that tank usually goes on the quarantine, shut down. Nothing can be purchased. Nothing can go in and out that tank. And also, when you're using a quarantine fish that have ick, you want to make sure these are the type of things that will pass. Just from this, make sure you have one of these. You should at least have 2 to 3 of these in your house. These are your siphons. These are siphons your tank. This is what cleans your tank, your gravel, and things like that. You want one for your quarantine tank, for any fish that got ick or anything like that. But sometimes, man, you might need more than one. I usually try to have 2 to 3 in the house, you know, just in case. But I definitely have one for a quarantine room, because anything that's coming in and out that quarantine room, if it's dealing with ick, I have a siphon that's used for ick, and I'll have a siphon that might be used for other things that's going on with that certain fish. This itself can have a teeny tad bit of water left in this tube. And just from you changing the water in that ick tank, and you go and you siphon and you go and move to the next thing, that water that was just in that ick tank now transferred into your tank that doesn't have any ick or anything wrong with it. And you're siphoning that water. Some of that water kind of flows back out into your tank. It always does. and that's when the ick will that parasite will jump from that water and go to that water. Even your air tubes are still in your water. Okay, that still goes and soaks inside of your water. One part is out, one side is in, but it's still inside. So when you usually take that out and you go to sit that in another tank, or if it goes to fall into another tank, you're still taking a chance of transmitting it into another tank, into another fish or anything in that matter. So I usually keep anything that has ick is usually washed down, boiled, but still usually kept and used for that certain thing or that parasite. Even with these type of things, your suction cups is used for your heaters or your dividers, anything, you still have to make sure these are clean and not used in any other tank, because that ick can transfer into another tank just off of this. Just a teeny tad bit of water can transfer over into the next tank. You don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, so just the teeniest things, the gravel, whatever. Dealing with ick, I try not to use gravel. Dealing with white poop, I try not to use gravel. Anything with my quarantine tanks, I try not to use gravel. Reason being is because that ick falls off, and that ick will fall off and go in the gravel. And everything is great, you're thinking everything is dead, so you'll wind up taking that fish out who's great, put him in a new tank. He's doing great in a new tank. You go get a new fish, and you go to add him in that water and forget that you had that tank that had ick in it, that you was, kind of making sure everything was good, and boom. That dead parasite that you thought was dead could be still living in that gravel. White poop is another thing. It's still a parasite. It's an internal parasite. It falls in the gravel, and white poop, you always have to siphon. White poop can sometimes also be transferred to other fish. That's a parasite. And so you don't want that. So I also use a siphon for the white poop. Fish that's kind of dealing with white poop at the time. They'll use a certain siphon and things like that. But I don't use gravel and also because I want to make sure, I want to see if that fish is still pooping white poop. You're not going to see the poop that good in the gravel. Usually when you siphon that gravel, you get maybe about 20% of poop. The rest percentages is food, debris, everything else is going inside of your siphon. So that's what you usually want to make sure of. So that's the number one thing as far as dealing with a parasite in your fish. You have to take it very, very serious, even for yourself, because some things can be transmitted to us. Some internal parasites we can also get. So you have to make sure and deal with it the right way, and also being safe for your aquatic, your aquatic pets, and also yourself and other pets also in the household. So you definitely have to take that to, extent. Also, using a net. Please use a different net dealing with any of your animals. Your aquatic fish, aquatic pets that are sick. Have a sick net, and then you have another net that's for your household. It's best you to have about like 4 or 5 nets in the house. A lie to you not. It's the best thing you could do. Best investment. But that right there, I'm gonna upload some pictures of ick and ammonia burns, so you guys will know the two difference between those two, because they are commonly mistaken to new aquatic people. They usually the first thing pops in their head because they hear it a lot. Oh, my fish got ick. They go to the store, run to the store, and boom, they go purchase ick medicine when they fish only have ammonia burns. You put it in there, fish is KO. Same dealing with the ick. Some people might just say, oh, it's just ammonia burns, man, you're good. When it's actually it, and you're going to get something ammonia, and that's not going to help with the parasite problem. You get what I'm saying? So after this, I'm going to upload some videos for you guys to see. Well, not videos, but pictures from ammonia burns and ick. So you guys will see two different things, and you'll be able to notify and notice the difference, and you'll be able to help other people. You might go to your friend's house and their friend is suffering from ick. You might be able to help them, or at least tell them, hey, that's ick. That's kind of serious, dangerous to the fish. Go to this certain step to get this better. It might just be ammonia burns. You can get it and help them right then and there. So I'm going to upload some pictures so you guys can tell the difference. And in this picture right here is what ick looks like. Ick looks almost like dots. Dots just on the fish, almost like polka dots. Like your fish has some type of polka dot that it just brought. And so this is a deadly parasite. This parasite is very, very deadly to just about any fish, from your salt water, your fresh water. It's very deadly and very contagious to other fish. This is what ick looks like. You can see the little dots on this goldfish. That's it. Now, right here is ammonia burns. You see like something like it burnt the skin or burnt the fish. You look right here, this piranha, it burnt it. And this is what ammonia burn looks like.